The two women haven't seen each other since prison 30 years ago.
Can't believe it.
Hello, how are you? Yeah.
Dan baru sekarang bisa kembali ke Indonesia.
Yeah, kembali
Karena lama tidak boleh.
Yeah.
A Dutch cameraman came to Plantungan.
Oh yeah.
And you were in the film.
Oh yeah. Examining the patient.
With your ear.
With my
That's right, with
your
ear.
The only doctor in Plantungan is herself a political prisoner.
I am checking her heart with my bare ear. Actually, I need a stethoscope, but there is no stethoscope.
Kita membuat tempat yang sedih ini, neraka ini sebahagia mungkin. Hati tetap pedih. You don't jangan lupa. Ya, don't forget. We have always a dark and a bitter heart in our heart. All is bitter. But di luarnya, ya kelihatannya itu kita ini ya biasa saja. Biasa saja. Sebab itu apa? Ya, oleh karena kita tidak tahu kapan mau keluarnya, berapa lama, jadi membuat hidup di sini ini sebaik mungkin.
In the 11 years she was detained, Dr. Sumiyosi barely saw her 3 children grow up.
Kalau anak tidak tahu, kalau anak saya ngomong bahwa saya bukan anak saya, tahu. Waktu dibawa ke Plantungan saya, terus ditawarin musik keburu, anak berapa coach rodet tanpa anak, jadi berangkat sendiri. Nah gitu, jadi tidak pernah ngomong seitunya.
She wanted to protect her children from the vilification directed at families of communist suspects. Even today, her children still call her auntie in public because of the institutionalized shame from the Suharto years. After her arrest, Carmel Budiarjo's teenage children fled to London, where they lobbied for their parents' release. After 4 years, she was let out of prison and told never to return to Indonesia. Her husband was detained for a further 8 years. Carmel established a lobby group to draw attention to the plight of political prisoners. Other critical human rights issues in Indonesia soon took over, like East Timor.
I remember reading about what was happening in East Timor. I really wept because we knew what the army was capable of. We had tried, our particular efforts were obviously devoted to getting the British government to stop selling arms. For so many years we had pleaded with them, and they just wouldn't listen.
By the 1990s, the Indonesian army had been getting away with murder for 25 years with scant criticism from the West. But on this occasion, the Western media managed to get pictures of one of its massacres in broad daylight. In East Timor, the Indonesian army used their tried and true tactic of recruiting militia gangs, the tactic condoned by the West in 1965.
I do see a line there right from the start. We condoned it, let's put it that way. I don't think we should have condoned it entirely as we did. We've given them the impression, particularly the army, that, in the long run they can do what they like.
But it was the people of Indonesia themselves who suffered on an even greater scale under General Suharto's military dictatorship.
In Indonesia, the army was fully in control of the political instruments of power through surveillance and domestic intelligence, conducting, dirty tricks, operations, including extra-legal killings, kidnappings, you name it, torture, state terror.
Today, General Suharto may be out of power, but reburying the bones exhumed from Kaliwiro is a highly sensitive issue. Along with the relatives of other victims, Joyo Santoso has come to transfer his brother's bones into a small coffin for reburial in the family cemetery. The foundation has obtained permission to rebury those bones unclaimed by relatives here in the village of Kalaran. Local Muslims object and blockade the house.
The generals then order the people to be against the communists by picturing the communists as the culprits of the attempted coup d'etat on the night of September 30 and the consequent times. So people were against communism, but actually it's misperception.
Karena begini, di sini itu kalau untuk makamkan, daerah sini bukan daerah PKI, ya begitu. Mungkin yang ngompor itu juga nganggap ini PKI kan gitu. Ya.
With the house blockaded, Joyo and the other relatives try to remove the coffins to safety.
Kita berangkat keluar, ternyata di depan rumah Pak Irawan sudah ada poster-poster. Ya, kemudian juga sudah ada, jadi pintu keluar itu sudah diblokir sehingga keluar masuk daripada rumah Pak Irawan itu sudah diblokir. Nah, kemudian mereka sempat memancing emosi ya dengan jalan penempeleng itunya, sopirnya, keneknya, terus kemudian Bu Sri juga semacam diperlakukan dengan kasar ya gitu.
Kita silakan Ibu ke tempat Pak Irawan dulu. Tua-tua petinggal kamu tuh. Silakan ke tempat Pak Irawan.
Nah, setelah itu kemudian yang keluar yang pemimpinnya yang pakai kumis tadi itu teriak-teriak, pokoknya memaki-maki lah. PKI gini. Kemudian ayo siapa mau marah ya, sambil mengeluarkan pisau belati. Yang mau marah saya bunuh.
Cuma kecemburuan ideologis, karena kita tahu semua bahwa yang akan dikebumikan ini tulang belulang dari orang-orang yang berdikatan sebagai ex-G30S.
Joyo and the others managed to rescue their relatives' bones for later reburial. The mob attacks the house and burns the empty coffins while the police stand by. They later destroy the house completely. In the stories of the shadow plays, taken from ancient Hindu texts, injustice is bloodily avenged. Forgiveness is not part of the equation. What chance, then, for justice or reconciliation in Indonesia?
Menurut saya rekonsiliasi itu kan lelucon saja. Ini sudah tugas negara harus mendirikan hukum, mendirikan keadilan untuk rakyatnya sendiri. Apa persoalan rekonsiliasi? Apa persoalan maaf? Ini itu. Yang penting hukum didirikan, keadilan didirikan, hak-hak asasi manusia didirikan. Itu persoalan yang harus dilakukan oleh negara.